Good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime Business. My name is Kevin Britz and my wonderful co-host Pieter Gruenbaum, action coach, business and transformational coach. Peter, how are you doing today? It's on this wonderful Friday.
Hi, Kevin. Thanks for inviting me once again. I'm doing great, thank you. It's a beautiful sunny afternoon here in our parts of the world. We had some great frost this morning, so during the day then comes like nice and sunshiny and hot and warm during winter. Otherwise I'm doing well. Thanks, Kevin.
My side of the world is also nice and warm and sunny, and so I'm enjoying the sunshine, and luckily afternoon sunshine does come into the room here, so that's good. Peter, so just to wrap up, just to give people some context on where we're at. So in the last couple of weeks, we've been chatting about, we've been chatting about a lot. So there's a six-step process that you run us through, that you're currently running us through, and we're already at step number 3. But don't you want to just recap maybe for us where we're at on the steps? I know that there's a 6-step process, but from where we are, or where we were to where we are going, don't you want to sort of just recap for everyone listening?
Yes, thank you. I'll do that with greatest of pleasure. We started off a few weeks ago already with Mastery, the 6 steps of growing your business to achieve those massive results that one actually wants. Now, our business definition is it's a commercial, profitable enterprise that works without you. Now, to get to the without you part, we need these steps to follow them to get to those results. So we started off with Mastery a few weeks ago, with Destination Mastery, Delivery Mastery, Money Mastery, and Time Mastery. And the next step, that's the niche and marketing that we also talked about, where we predicted you create a predictable cash flow for your business. Today we're going to stand still with leverage, okay? Creating that efficiency in your business. The next step, then what will follow on this is team, to synergy, to results, to give you that well-oiled machine so you can carry on. So let's look at the next step, step 3, which is leverage. It's creating efficiency in your business.
Fantastic. So essentially, with those 6 steps, we're sitting at leverage now, Peter. So I think a lot of people, especially when you have a small business, when you are an entrepreneur, it's one of the things that people don't understand very well, or they're not sure on how to actually do that. And essentially, it's a fantastic point and reference for people to have, because when we are leveraging our contacts, when we are leveraging how we can actually market our business, there's so many ways and options that we can look at that. From your perspective as an action coach, what does it really mean to leverage your business?
All right. Well, first of all, when we look at the definition of a business, now it's a commercial, profitable enterprise that works. So we are creating with leverage the working part of your business. And now to do that, we believe that you have to have a system. Okay. Now the system stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money. Right. So looking at a system, there are many systems in a business. Systemizing your business is leveraging your business to the utmost. Okay. So there are 4 ways of leveraging a business. It's your people and education, systems and technology, delivery and distribution, and testing and measuring. If I can explain people and education, we all have people that work for us, and we have to have those people educated. Systems and technology, you have to keep with the technology systems, your point of sale systems, whatever the case may be. Okay, delivery and distribution is of utmost. What are you using nowadays in COVID-19 to deliver and distribute your product? Testing and measuring is always a factor, because you need to test what's working and you need to measure what is not working, so you can, and also working, so you know where to spend most of your time for you to leverage your business.
So, Peter, can we? I just, I mean, I love. Are we going to touch on some practical examples here? Because I know from people in education, you know, and also testing and measuring. Those two areas, a lot of the time, people get stuck, or they just don't know what to do or how to measure something, and they really don't know that having more people around you and connecting more with people really creates a beautiful way of leveraging your business. So we are going to be touching on that, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay, so let's look at, there are 9 steps to systemizing a business, and the first one, which we covered in day 1, basically on mastery: vision statement, your mission statement, your culture statement, smart goals. You have to have smart goals, your organizational chart, positional contracts, not just a job description, but a specific contract for a specific position, your key performance indicators, KPIs, how-to systems, how do you do a certain thing? How do you answer the phone for a receptionist? What is the procedures? That's a system that we're going to talk about now, and how to do that. And then management systems. Okay,
yeah.
So get a little bit more practical.
Sorry, Peter, I'm so glad that you mentioned the systems that you were talking about, because I think, you know, a lot of the time when people, especially when a company starts growing, you look at people who take for granted the fact that someone has, you know, that this is my accountant, or this is my systems manager, and that person comes with a set of skills, and we kind of leave it up to them to make it happen, right? But when we don't have the how-to system, management systems in place, you know, if that person goes away, then what do? You know, or if the person's not available, or the person's sick, or the person's in COVID right now, you know, and there's no system to support what that looks like and what the processes are. I think a lot of the times that's we especially with small businesses or growing businesses, really struggle, because they get miscommunication, they get into, well, my staff aren't really pulling their weight, but maybe they don't have a system. Maybe they don't know what it's supposed to, you know, perform like, and what it's supposed to look like. They don't know what the SMART goals are. They don't know what the organizational chart looks like. There's so much
Absolutely.
but so absolutely. I mean, from part of your ingoing leveraging, part of how to improve your business, I think this is a fantastic sort of inroads on how to do that more effectively.
Absolutely. Let's just take an organizational chart, for instance. Now, this is so important that people know who they report to, and who reports to you as a leader, or as a manager, or whatever the case may be. In a small business, where you are 2 or 3 or 4 people, maybe it's easier. But even there, you should have an organizational chart that looks like you put it in place for even what the business will look like in 10 years, for instance. So those positions that you want to create and fill in 10 years' time, you just mark it vacant. But you have to have this part of your whole dream goal absolutely going forward. Positional contracts as well. People need to know what they do, why they do it, how to do it. That's including the key performance indicators. Okay, so if I may, let's look at a little bit more practical steps of how to look at systemizing your business. Okay, you use a flow chart of your processes. That's how it all fits together. Now, flow chart, it needs to be a document of how it gets done. If you have a receptionist and they answer the telephone, if they're not there today and you ask someone out of the finance department to answer the phones, there must be a certain way that they need to answer the phone, and it must be written down. So someone can just go take it out and say, okay, read through it, and somebody that hasn't done it before will be able to do it. Maybe not 100%, but they will be able to do it at least 80 to 90% of competence in doing that. And that's the things that's very important about creating systems. Okay. You can also measure the results by using the KPIs for a system that you put into place. And there are many avenues or many the different departments in a business that can be systemized. I'm just going to mention just quickly a few. Your daily office operations system, a product development system, manufacturing and inventory systems, order processing and tracking systems. Wow. Invoicing and accounts receivable systems. This sounds like, wow, this is a lot of jargon and so on. But if you've got this written down, okay, and if anybody that can come from outside that knows the business, that's been in your business for a while maybe, but hasn't been in a certain position, can actually go and look up what this looks like and do it as you go along or as they go along. You need to also allow for the system to change and grow as you and your business grow and changes. And it's important.
I just want to touch on one point. As you're mentioning it now, I think one of the debilitators that we often find, especially when we, you have a small business and you're running your own thing, the one thing we take for granted is that people will understand it my way, So I do what I do, and then I employ someone, and then I go, okay, well, I need you to do that. Take some initiative, get it done. And, working in corporates like we do, even from a coaching perspective, very often, I think the biggest failure or the quickest way to disable yourself or the staff that you work with is to not have effective communication strategies on how you effectively communicating what it is you're implementing, how you're implementing it. And if you're not there, what do they need to do? How do they show up? How do they perform to their optimum? Because the more you empower them with information, the easier for them is sort of to grab onto the information and say, okay, no, I know what to do. I know what I'm doing. And I have a few very obvious ways that I can follow to do this process.
Precisely. Okay. So it alleviates completely the fact that they can say, but I don't know. I don't have the time because this and this and this has happened. And the I don't know situation also, which is very prominent in any business. Now you can tell them, but there's no reason for you to say that you don't know, because there it is. Just go and read through. And while you're working, you can actually go through the system and use it and learn while you're working. That's the benefit of it all.
Pieter, and also, just to touch on that point, one of the things that I've noticed, from empowering your team by doing that, part of creating enough space for motivation, when I'm doing executive coaching, I think that's part of the aim that we aim to sort of empower people, is to how do you create the space for your people to feel comfortable enough to be motivated in that space? Because if they don't have stuff like this, even motivation and wanting to get things done and time management and all of these things that you're pointing out, all of that becomes the excuse on why I shouldn't be doing it and what's not working. And 6 months down the line, you're kind of going, what the hell went wrong? Like, why are we here now?
Exactly. A lot of businesses out there, and it's my experience as well as a business coach, that we don't always know how to set key performance indicators, because we think it's a difficult task and it's a difficult thing to do. And that's why many business owners don't actually do key performance indicators, not for themselves and for their staff that works with them. And with a system like this, where you've got everything written down, it's easy to measure those steps that you need to follow. Key performance indicators can be derived from this brilliant system that you've created. And that also makes measurement, the testing and measuring, getting back to the testing and measuring your people's performances becomes a lot easier. You've got your positional contracts, you've got your key performance indicators that you can actually measure what people do through time management and all those things that you put into place via a system. That's very important.
Also, Pieter, like the fact that Wow, it's just left my brain. It's going to come back to me. It's one of the points that you make now, but please carry on. I'll bring up the question as it comes through.
All right. Would like to see what it does time-wise. Okay. If you look at a few simple steps, basic tips that one can give, is remember that a system runs your business. And people might say, but that's not true. But through experience and through testing and measuring, this is what happens. If you've got a system that runs your business, that people will run the system, okay, then you can lead the people and give them advice and direction in the system. Okay, once again, the KISS principle applies. Okay, keep it simple, stupid. What it means as well as with technology as it is, it's easy to do a voice recording for someone or let them do it that's a specialist in that position. Do a voice recording and store that voice recordings on your phone, on your laptop, or wherever the case may be, for people to be able to get back to them and refer to what has been said. Videos, make a video of specific things that you can make, of a process of making or manufacturing something. Video record it and put it on a system that's live that you can go to on your computer system, because it must be accessible to all. It's no use you've got it in your office as a business owner or as a leader, or whatever the case may be, and no one can actually access it. It's no use then, okay? Because then people will have to come and ask you, but I need this and that and the other. It must be accessible to everybody. So to put it bluntly, I think it must be a workable document for every department that you've got. People must reprint it every 6 months, I would say, or every 3 months. That's the way that they use it to the fullest. It's really important. Okay. So this is what we call leverage.
Yeah. I love that, Peter. And I think, this is the point that came to mind now, is it's so important for any business owner out there to be able to remember to work on their business and not in their business, because a lot of the times we kind of get wrapped up because we know the vision, we know the dream, we know where we want to go, but yet we're still working in the business and not on the business. And by the end of the day, you're kind of going, why the hell am I always tired? Why the hell am I always having to do stuff? Why am I paying people to do stuff, to get stuff going? And yet I'm paying this and I'm not really getting to where I want to go. And I think it's a useful strategy to remember. It's part of leveraging, like you're saying, everything that you're busy with and what you're doing to be able to get to that point. Because if you don't, you're literally still working in your business and not on your business.
Absolutely. That's why Brad Sugars calls it divide to multiply. Dividing your tasks into different steps that can be followed. Okay, you do it once, and you benefit forever. So you've got the system that's there. It's a working mechanism. You've got to do it once. Although there will be absolutely, when you change your business and your business grows, your system needs to change. So there will be add-ons and there will be different, maybe what you have to change to fit a new product or a new system, new development, or whatever the case may be. Okay. So divide to multiply is you break it down in tasks. You do it once, you do it, benefit forever. It's a system that's there. It's live, it's usable, and the benefit for everybody that comes after the people that's there now, and for you as a business. Even if you sell the business, the saleability of a business becomes so much more valuable and prevalent because you've got a system that's there. People can say, okay, but I'm not just buying a business, I'm actually buying a complete system that's been proven and tested and measured over a period of time. So it makes it a lot more easier for people to buy your business as well when you look at things like that.
Absolutely. Fantastic, Peter. Thank you so much. Guys, we're going to be chatting about the 6-point system every Friday around lunchtime. Peter, if you want to just unshare your screen.
Yep, there's it.
Thank you. So, Peter, like I was saying, every Friday we're going to be touching on the step process. If anyone wants to get hold of you, where will we go for that? Tell us about that.
All right. Well, it's easy to get hold of me on my Facebook page. It's Action Coach Pieter Gruenbaum or just Pieter Gruenbaum. It's also easy to get hold of me on my email. It's petergruenbaum@actioncoach.com. And then I'm on my LinkedIn profile as well. Everybody can, it's Pieter Gruenbaum on LinkedIn. It's easy to follow and go look at my page. Let's connect through that on my website. Everywhere on my LinkedIn page and my Facebook page, there's a connection to my website that you can get in hold of me, get in contact with me. There's a link to follow.
Fantastic. Peter, I'm just going to leave us with a quote. Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough. And Oprah Winfrey said that. Guys, we're just leaving you with the last little bit of leadership programs that we feature on my website. It's businessbydesign.co.za. And that's your effective personal productivity website. So, or leadership program. It's all talk about productivity and delegation, the power of written goals, celebrating your success, crisis management, and so much more. If you want to find out more about that, please check it out at businessbydesign.co.za. And the videos are on there, and so all the videos are on the under the video section on the website. So you will see this video on there as well. But it's going to happen every Friday. Is Lunchtime Business with myself, Kevin Britz, and Pieter Gruenbaum. Join us next week, guys. We're going to carry on with our 6-step process. And Peter, thank you so much. I look forward to next week.
Yeah, thanks. Me too. Appreciate it. And stay safe, people out there. We need to get through this and thrive again as business owners.
Absolutely. Thanks, Peter. Chat to you soon. Have a wonderful day.
Cheers.